And hello and welcome to Gitgud EU Day 2. I am your play-by-play caster Pip, and with me today is the best color caster in the business, Belly.
Yeah, hello. I'm just new here, but I'm excited to get started here with Pip on Gitgud EU Day 2. What do we have today, Pip?
Well, I was going to say, you're new, and we're also both of our teams new. This is the first game either of them have played. We have Evasive University versus Team TBD. We're up in the expert division today, so we're seeing some GM, a little bit of top 500 gameplay as well. Should be some really valuable games.
I'm very much hoping indeed. It is two new teams with some fun maps to come as well. As I said, indeed, I'm new. Is it okay to start talking about the first map already?
Absolutely. The first map is the best map. We have Lijiang Tower.
Sure, it is indeed Lijiang Tower. It is a very popular map, and I don't disagree with that. It is a fun map with three very interesting points. And as Pip pointed out earlier towards me, is indeed Night Market being one of the most played maps of Lijiang Tower. Personally, actually, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like Control Tower.
Well, so that's one of the things that's the most interesting about Lijiang, is that all of the maps, you really can see entirely different play. Obviously on Control Tower, you're going to see Reinhardt, you're going to see Goats all the time, maybe even a Mei, if you're feeling particularly spicy, whereas on the other two, you can see sort of multi-DPS comps come out.
Exactly, especially on Garden, Fire Mercy, very popular there, and Dive comps as well. But it looks like we are going to already go into the map, and Night Market being the first map.
Night Market, I personally find Night Market one of the, I'd say it's the most interesting map, just because this is one of those maps where really any composition works. You see Goats work, Death will work. I don't think there's a composition that you can't make work on Night Market.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Especially like triple DPS comes as well, but the Hammond can actually be fun, booping people off the map. Always fun, including a Pharah. Goats, very prevalent on here as well, but as you say, like a lot of different options for Night Market. So it's kind of a question what we will be seeing right now here. Initial picks is going to be a bit of a question. We are seeing Goats on the side of Evasive University at the moment. Yeah, on the other side, we're seeing some interesting picks, which I'm sure will change at some point. Or they might not, which should prove for a very interesting game, to say the least.
There it is. The switch is coming through. Looks like it's just going to be the standard Rhine, Zen, Goats mirror. Be interesting to see kind of how the two teams clash in this first fight.
Indeed it will. First poking.
Poking him from the side, moving around. Fade needs to be able to take this aggressive position, needs to be able to start swinging away and get his ult charge up, because otherwise Lynx is just going to take advantage of him the entire game. Fade swinging away. Brig pushing in pretty deep as well and taking a little bit of damage for our troubles. They need to worry out, because they need to watch out that neither of the supports gets picked off too early. In fact, it looks like they might even just give up this point. First hit going, no, in comes Fade, but there it is. Murren drops down to Molkrat. That's absolutely huge. As soon as Zenyatta pick comes through, they need to push in, they need to try and make a trade kill, but I don't think it's going to come. Down goes Fades, and that should be the fight over.
Fight over. It is Evasive pulling back after that initial first pick. Like, it is unlucky when you lose your Zen very early on. It's not one of the biggest picks to get, but it is still a reason to start pulling back, and you saw TBD just pushing in on this immediately, making use of the Discord orb not being on the Reinhardt anymore, and then just pushing in through with just a little bit extra survivability.
Speaking of pushing in through, they do manage to isolate Lynx here. Fades gets booped up, so he doesn't actually manage to get his charge off. And in fact, he's going to get punished for it. Lunafan, on their own, just going to get absolutely dropped by Molkrat. That's two opening picks for him. Out comes the Shatter as well. Nothing going to come of it. Up goes to D-Roll. He needs to try and find something. He does. He gets the kill onto Fades, and that should be the win for TBD here.
TBD pushing in pretty hard. Two actually drops, however, which is always unlucky when you lose a Zarya, losing all of the all of that charge for your weapon. One of the main damage dealers, but two does have the Graviton up. However, Evasive on the other side has 4 ultimates up at the moment. Right now, having a bit of a more powerful position, ultimate-wise. So We will see how that will play out as they push in once more.
So using those ultimates to their advantage, they do in fact pop the Graviton to try and find Lynx, but the sound barrier is too fast from Spooker. Out comes TBD's Grav, and they actually manage to get a pick off it. Down goes Edge, and with Transcendence being popped from both teams, neither team really has a support on the ult here to push in, so I think it's just going to be TBD holding it again. They even pop the rally just to confirm it.
Yeah, whether that was really needed, you still have possibly one more fight to go. You could have used it a bit later, but they used it somewhat early, getting some extra armor.
Oh, out comes the shatter from Lynx. That should be the wipe from him there. Lovely, lovely shatter. You hate to see it.
Absolutely huge, just confirming that no one can get back to the point in TBD with a very convincing night market here to start out with.
Absolutely, and I mean, the interesting thing is that you don't typically see those GOATS matchups played out that way. It usually comes down to the Reinhardts and the Brigidas pushing in and swinging away, but actually it was all down to Maltkraut on TBD continually seeming to get opening picks on Zenyatta of all heroes that was really opening up the fights for them.
Yeah, positioning is very important, and especially as Zenyatta, you need to make sure that you are safe. You provide so much value with your Discord orb, making sure that the enemy Reinhardt cannot just freely do whatever the hell he wants. And trying to get a Discord orb on the enemy Reinhardt requires some team play, or indeed getting to a certain position. Now on Gardens, however, we're seeing a swap to the Ana for TBD, and Roadhog for Evasive University.
Guess they're looking to just hook people off into the cliff. Just
could
an
be.
interesting strat. Both teams taking opposite sides. Lucio getting a little bit greedy there. Spooker needs to pull back. Could get dropped instantly, but there's some kind of boop from 2 knocking Fades off. And as soon as Fades goes, they just have to run away. Oh my, I love this play from Lynx. He understands he's won the fight, so he just tries to get his ult up as fast as possible.
Exactly. Indeed, Evasive just pulling back once again. I'm still indeed not fully sure. We are indeed seeing the swap now from the Roadhog to the Zarya, which will provide a lot more damage here. Like, the hooks can provide their value, but probably not as much as a fully charged Zarya left-clicking her way to victory when left to her own devices.
And I mean, they're not leaving her to her own devices now. They're pushing in very, very quickly. Fade's actually in a little bit of trouble, but not as much as Lynx is. Lynx pushes in very deep and isn't going to get the heal that he requires. Murren is going to get the opening pick onto Fletcher, and that should be enough to just push him with the rally and get some kills off. Out comes the Graviton. They're actually investing a lot here. Primal as well. They need to try and get a kill, but the Trans is too strong. Trans and rally together means that there's nothing Primal can do to get a kill here. They need to try and get some kind of pick. It's looking like Maltkraut on the side, maybe the one they go for. No, they're just going to leave him, and Maltkraut's going to drop the nano boost. Lunafan somehow doesn't fall off the edge there. Does a little skateboard jump, and they actually in fact take the point. Anna in a little bit of trouble as well, has to jump off.
You take the point, but we do have to keep in mind they did use Sound Barrier and I apologize, Rally and Transcendence for that fight. They only have Sound Barrier left, which is enough to deal with the Diva Bomb that TBD still has. But the grab is still something to wait for, so we'll have to wait out. To see how this Diva Bomb will get used. I would assume that they will be pushing in with the rally, or using that also defensively.
Maltkraut again getting the opener, picks up Mob. They should be able to push in on this, but actually a huge trade out from Lunafan and an ult from Edge. Lucky Pants is going to trade it out onto Mob, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Edge has already picked up 2 incredible support kills with his ultimate. And now it should just be a case of cleaning up on point. They need to keep Fades alive though. He does manage to kill Fletcher, but he's actually in a little bit of trouble here. 2 just charging that ultimate.
And they charging the ultimate, getting the grab still up and running. It is Evasive still pushing back here on Gardens. It was indeed with the rally that they pushed in, but just the big bomb. That's not much that you can do against that. Even though that the bomb from Lucky Pants still got a pick, but it was already too little too late, unfortunately, for TBD here.
The biggest bomb. And to be honest, the bomb they needed. In they come, out comes the rally from Evasive, out comes the shatter as well! He saw Lynx getting on and he thought, you know what, I want to play the game as well. 3 quick kills, 4, 5, 6. That actually was very, very good.
That was extremely good, and only 2 ultimates invested for that. They still have the Graph, Transcendence, and Sound Barrier. That is a lot of stuff that you can still use to hold this point, and we're going into last fight territory with 95% on the counter.
95%. They're looking for 100 though. In they come. Fades picks up Lynx. Huge opening kill. They pop both Gravitons and both Sound Barriers, so no trade kills coming out yet. But Fades somehow picks up Spooker. Out comes another Shatter from Fades. Should be able to kill 2 here. 2 actually gonna pop his shield, but no, shouldn't be enough. They do actually manage to close this one out. Not as convincingly as the first map, but good.
Yeah, it's still anyone's game right now. We just have Lynx trying to stall as long as he can. But that will be map 2 going to Evasive Uni.
I mean, the map was looking like a pretty rough start for Evasive. It seemed to start exactly the same way as Night Market. They push him for that first fight, someone gets picked and they run away. And, you know, it looked like we might have seen a repeat, but Evasive just really kind of picked themselves up by their bootstraps. Fade starts doing some really, really good space creation with Reinhardt, and they just ride that to a victory there.
Exactly, especially using ultimate as well, just very efficiently, and the big bomb that we mentioned before, like using only that to just get very big picks off. It's very efficient play. We're not really seeing any swaps right now. You could see the Mei on control tower, but we are seeing just typical Zen Goat's mirror here on control tower, going straight for the point, not going towards server room.
This is your favorite map, so hopefully we're going to get to see a good little play for them.
I do very much hope.
Lynx pushes in very, very deep. Instantly charges in and going to get a lot of damage on him for his troubles. In fact, FaZe is just going to get the kill. They also get Bletcher. 2 does trade it out onto FaZe, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they've already lost 2 people. Lucky Bat's going to get demaxed. Down he goes. And that's it. That's an early point take for Evasive.
As you can see, with Goats, as always, is just if you get the Reinhardt out of the way, there's just no real proper defense anymore. The big shield is gone, and there's only so much that a Diva Matrix and a Zarya bubble can do. It's very temporary, apart from the shield. And you see the immediate push in every single time. As soon as a pick is made, the push in happens and just picks off of that. Lynx playing very aggressively and getting punished for it quite consistently at the moment.
See if he can change that consistency. Out comes a Shatter from FaZe, but not actually going to get the value we've been used to seeing out of him. And in fact, Lynx is going to trade it out with a charge onto Lunafan. And that should be all they need here, as Lynx is going to continually run around this right-hand side. He's just going to keep picking up kills for himself. That's 3 for him so far this fight. Looking for a 4th. Onto Mup. Can he find it? No, Mup's too speedy for him. But they're actually going to take the point with 45% on the board, I think.
Mup indeed still trying to stall for as long as possible, just getting that extra point percentage in, 46%. On the counter for Evasive. And we're now going to see the aggressive hold here towards the door, which is a very good choke point to hold with Goats. It's very difficult to push past. But with the rally...
Yeah, with the rally, they just give it up. Murren and FaZe both picking up early kills. They do the grab bomb combo, but they don't actually get enough off of it. They only get 1 kill, and they need a lot more. FaZe is going to pick up the kill onto Lynx. He should be kept alive here from the bubble and the defense matrix from Diva here. Mulcra in a little bit of trouble, down to full next. Yeah, they just cut this out.
The chokehold wasn't that effective, and I need Spookin trying to stall for a bit more, but he's going to be staggered just ever so slightly. But the chokehold wasn't that effective as they probably were hoping for, as it is a very popular and very good choke to hold that you can hold for quite some time, but they pull back immediately as soon as they saw the other team coming. A huge Shatter!
Oh, that's a big Shatter. Out comes the Diva Bomb as well. I don't know if it's going to get too much. I say that, and they get 3. Oh, that was filthy.
That was... I feel a bit dirty for that one. Or just seeing that was a big Shatter with a big bomb afterwards. Again, just very efficient ultimate play. Using the combos to just get the picks off and just get a bit more point percentage.
Out comes the Graviton, but in fact, TBD pop both Sound Barrier and Transcendence. Evasive gonna pop the rally, just try and keep everyone alive, but another huge Shatter out of Fades. Does die for his trouble, but he's done so much damage onto Bletcher that I think he should be the next to fall. No, out comes Transcendence, but it's too late to save Mob. Mob's already fallen. In fact, it's turned around in a second. TBD should be able to keep pushing forward here. Out comes the Graviton as well. They should be able to pick up both these kills, maybe even 3. Down goes Lunafan, Mob, and Edge. They've somehow traded that back.
Both Reinhardts died at the same time. FaZe looking like a bit more consistent with the Reinhardt play, but when both Reinhardts got deleted from the fight, It looked indeed like TBD just managed to run the rest of the team over, especially that Transcendence. You're not getting that one back. That's gotta hurt.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to feel that. And again, they're just going to give up this front door and allow Evasive to just march forwards to point.
It's still not a bad choke to hold here right around the corner at the point, but it's more difficult than the choke right at the door. Diva Bomb comes in for both teams.
I was going to say, both Diva Bombs going out. Edge is the one to actually get the opening pick there onto Molkrat. As I keep saying, Molkrat, really essential for this team. Lynx, though, catches Fades off guard. That was really effective there. Charges after him and guarantees the kill, which means even though Molkrat's down, I think TBD is still in the advantageous position here. Just trading kills back and forth. They really need to get 2 kills in a row, maybe try and find 1 onto 2, because that, I mean, he's lit up like a Christmas tree right now. They pop the trans. They're going in deep. Out comes the Graviton. But I don't think any kills should come out of it. They pop both Trans and Soundbarrier on the side of TBD here. It's just battling back and forth. Out comes the Graviton. They need to try and find a kill off of it, and they should be able to get it. Down goes Lynx. Fade's getting a huge opening pick. Lucky Pants looks through the next full note. Spooker who goes down. It's just Lucky Pants and 2 left on the point with Fletcher on the side here. Maybe even going to be able to pick up a kill on tomorrow, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Down goes Fades to 2. Lucky Pants gets picked off. It's still all to play for on the point here. Fletcher really needs to find some damage with this Brigida, just spamming away, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it. I think Lucky Pants looks to fall next as 2 goes down along with Fletcher. This should be Evasive's fight to lose.
Another shower comes in, this time from Lynx. They do actually manage to get some picks out of it, but the stun!
Edge!
Edge
is his team to the victory. That was incredible.
That was very good play. Evasive Uni indeed. Picking up Lijiang Tower. Lunafan there at the end with just a huge stun, taking away that shield and confirming the 3 kills with Edge's very effective bomb so far.
This was filthy.
That was dirty.
Because something interesting about Evasive Uni is the fact that actually as a team they've only been together for about a week. They haven't been together for too long, and they're already showing some real chemistry. As we said, the combinations between Edge and Fades or Lunafan stunning, their team players are already very good after only a week.
And I definitely agree. Like the individual play, you can see that the individual play is very spot on, but just after just a week, getting that synergy between the players, getting the combos off, getting the communication down, it's very impressive to see.
And we will be going to an escort map next.
We will indeed, so that will be either Junkertown or Dorado.
I hope for Dorado. No one seems to pick Dorado anymore, but I find it a very enjoyable map. Oh! My prayers have been answered!
You might get your wish, Pip. It does seem that Dorado will be the map that we will be going towards, which has some interesting play potential, especially the 3 points allowing for also different compositions on the different points. It's not something that you see on every payload, every escort or hybrid map, but Dorado, the first point, you can see very much different compositions, ranging from a reset to dive to Reinhardt, while on the second point, high ground becomes very powerful, but you also still see people just run straight up the Reinhardt goats if the enemy team is also playing the same. It should be an interesting map to watch.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be interesting how the counterplay happens. So, as you said, a lot of different options available for the offense and the defense. So what you see a lot of the time is maybe the defense will run something a little bit cheesy, and the offense will run something to counter it. And that's a really interesting counterplay that you see, and I really hope we do get to see that.
And I indeed hope that would there's options for plenty of switching and just looking what is the enemy playing, how can we effectively deal with that. It is just possible to run goats, yes, sure, but here on this first point, like seeing Bastions, Torbjorns and Maze could be great fun to watch. And it does seem like we might see a triple DPS composition coming in from TBD. While
Dare we
on
dream?
It would be the dream. On defense, it looked like it's going to be more standard Zen goats. But I'm hoping indeed for the triple DPS, because that could be great fun to watch here, especially versus the goats. it becomes like getting on the high ground. Can be very difficult to deal with the triple DPS, getting a very good crossfire in from so many angles.
No, you were betrayed.
I
You
was
betrayed in an amazing way.
I was betrayed.
Just going in for the standard Ryan Zen Goat's mirror again. Hoping maybe they can do something a little bit different here. Fade's actually getting chased back. He's not going to go for the engage yet, and in he goes. Link's getting booped around. Lucky Pant's taking a little bit more damage than he's hoping to here. Murren is actually going to get the opening pick onto Spooker. The Zenyatta's getting these opening picks. Incredible here.
Zenyatta's providing a lot of value for both of these teams. And this is indeed going to be Evasive pushing into this, getting some extra picks off. It's very dangerous to try and go for the boop plays, go for the damage plays as Lucio, because you can indeed just very quickly get picked off by a volley of some good Zenyatta orbs. It's something that you can still deal with to boot people out of position and try to punish them in that way.
Oh, speaking of punish, Fades gets a beautiful shatter off, but in fact they're not actually going to be able to capitalize off of it. And a huge shatter from Lynx here means that they've just wasted Rally, Sound Barrier, and Graviton have got nothing for it, and Lynx is just going to charge forwards. He's found Edge. He's going to look for Mup next. Mup should be the next fall here on point. That's really bad if you're Evasive.
That is very painful, using that many ultimates to try and keep this point secure. But the counter shatter is something that you need to keep in mind when you are playing Reinhardt. It is something that after the shatter or after the Graviton comes in, just throwing in your own shatter to keep the enemy team from doing something. So try not to go for all the picks and actually keep your shield up so you can get value.
Goes to default, nothing going to come of it. Meanwhile, though, the combo should do a lot more here. Yeah, Lucky Pants is going to get the opening kill onto Lunafan. They also pop Rally from both teams, so it's just a case of trading back and forth. But I think it is going TBD's way. Yeah, very, very decisively here.
Murren being the last one to fall. Actually, I say that Edge is the last one to fall. And this is probably going to be first point take by TBD, looking very strong. And the question is, will we see any switches, or will this just be the same composition going for now?
Lucky Pants looking forward to trying to answer your question, I think. Just seeing if it looks like they're going to make any switches, or if they're going to stick with what they are. It looks like they are going to stick with this Zen Ryan comp.
Exactly. They are. Well, even though at the moment they don't really have any ultimates that they have coming on quickly, apart from Mob with the Graviton, so they might want to push in on that. But Shatter comes and finds 3.
Big shatter from Lynx, but again, they're just not able to capitalize on it because Fades just does such a good job of standing in the way. In the meantime, though, Fades gets a shatter of his own. Let's see if they can capitalize. They even pop the grab, forcing out the Transcendence. I do like that. Fades, though, actually in a little bit of a dangerous situation here. He's at the back here and he needs to try and get some healing. Up goes Lynx, up goes the Devrol. Let's see if they can find something. They don't actually get a kill, but they do damage 2 to a point where he should be able to get dropped here. Down goes Molkrat as well. Evasive, they regain their defensive.
They regain their defenses. They stabilize here just after this choke, and this is again like the chokeholds and the corner points are very strong to hold with goats. Just getting a Reinhardt to just take up that space and not allow the enemy team to really push in on that. They are pulling back just a bit, however, allowing TBD to just get to the card, but then take the fight there, and Rally comes in for this next fight here.
Out comes Rally, but also out comes Shadow. Lynx looks to fall here. In fact, he gets Bleacher as well. Fades gets 2 with 1 charge. The old 2-in-1. Buy one, get one free.
Fades just with the shatters over and over and over again. Just, he's not letting down on this. Every time that he sees an opportunity, he just goes for it and finds so much value. Like 3-4 man shatters. It is very impressive to see.
Absolutely, but I mean, I think it's all going to be down to Mob with the Graviton for this fight. Pops it almost instantaneously. The Rally's already come out, and Edge manages to eat 2s. That's incredible. They need to capitalize on this. 2 gets dropped down. Forwards they march. Sound Barrier comes out from up as well. They just want to guarantee this win, I think. Fletcher gets dropped, as does Lynx. I mean, it all started, though, with Edge eating that Graviton. I mean, we were actually told that Edge hasn't had breakfast yet, so he will be surviving on a diet of Gravitons today. So it's nice that he got his first little portion.
And he might still be hungry, possibly looking for just a few more throughout this series. But Yeah, now we indeed saw the counter shatter for that fight, but we're going into the next one, and we still have Sam Barry and the Diva Bomb for TBD, which they want to be looking for to use, as this is basically the only option that they've got.
Up goes the bomb, nothing gonna come of it, even though FaZe does get the charge. And in fact, FaZe is actually in a lot of trouble here. They're pushing very, very deep on him. But Edge takes the fall for him, and Mob actually somehow manages to trade it out, and in the commotion finds the kill onto Lynx. That's absolutely massive. That's what you want to see from your Zarya. Mob does a huge boop and knocks more forwards, combos it with a shadow from Fade. Absolutely huge. Doesn't get a kill off it, but he doesn't need to. He's just forcing the pack. He's understanding that his entire job is just to make space, show some dominance, and force them back. And I say that, he gets the kill onto 2, and they even grab into it as well. They want to get the clear here. Mob gets 3 kills for himself.
It's just Evasive Uni after that very first map where they just got full health on Lijiang Night Market. They're showing that they're no team to be messing with, and to take very seriously, and making very little mistakes and capitalizing on any mistakes that the enemy team makes, but also just charging these ultimates is insanely good and using them extremely effectively. Mokrot in a previous fight.
Speaking of effective ults, out comes Lynx Shatter. Should be able to clear off it. He does die, but he takes five of them with him.
That now just to turn around, the Reinhardt showing how effective that Shatter can be just on its own without really any assistance from, say, a Brig or a Lucy Boop, which is usually done a fair amount, but just finding these openings and getting so much value for so many shadows. With overtime now ticking down, it's going to be difficult for TBD to get this fight down. And another shadow!
Another shadow comes out, and again, Edge has his lunch. Nom Nom on 2. Up goes the default. They need to get a kill here. They're not going to find it, though. Rally comes out from Bletcher, actually, and that should give them the health that they need to keep pushing through this. Mulcrack gets the kill onto Lunafan. Evasive need to trade back here. They finally get the grab up, but no kill's going to come out. Out comes the Transcendence from Murren, but it's way too late. His team's already died. Mup is somehow the DPS of this team and gets the kill onto Mulcrack, but I don't think he's going to get anything else. Bletcher, too strong. It's going to punch him away. So after another disgusting eat from Edge.
Yeah, Edge looking very, very hungry, proving indeed that a good solid breakfast of Gravitons is important for any Diva player. But the Transcendence from Murin just at that point, that is again one that you're not getting back for the next fight. And knowing this, knowing that the enemy team doesn't have any Transcendence or Sand Barrier, too, now it is Graviton. If Edge has had enough already, they could get a lot of value for this grab.
They get a lot of value out of the Diva Bomb first. Bletcher actually, though, is going to get a little bit of a stun onto Fades, and that means he should be able to fall here. Oh, they're trying to keep him alive. I love this from Lucio and Zenyatta. They're just desperately trying to keep Fades up, but no, he should fall down here. Down he goes. They need to get the trade out, and they do. They get the opener onto Lynx. Out goes the Diva Bomb. I don't know if it's going to find anyone, and that's really, really unfortunate, because it means it just leaves Lucio and 2 off tanks on point. They are going to get chased away with only 30 seconds left.
It was a bit of a scrappy fight. 30 seconds left means that TBD is going to have to get a very good solid fight in here, and as soon as they get on the point, they are just straight up not allowed to leave it. Right now, Lynx, just with the Shatter, is gonna have to find a fair bit of value or play very safe.
Oh, they go for the Shadow. Unfortunately, Lynx doesn't find anything. I was about to say Fades gets the favorable engagement there, but somehow Lynx actually gets the kill onto Fade with a lovely charge there. And with the main tank down, they should actually be able to just push straight forwards. Mob just running away, trying to survive here, getting booped around along with Mob. They're actually giving up a lot of space here.
Giving up a lot of space without your Reinhardt is very difficult to take the engage, so just giving up that space to allow Fades to come back and take a proper engagement is what you want.
Take the engagement, out comes both Transcendences, but Murren's already got the kill onto Bletcher. That should be massive. Out goes the grab, up goes the Diva Bomb, and he does get the kill onto Spooker. That's all he needs. 1 kill, and that should be enough. They already got the opening pick onto Bletcher. Getting that second kill makes it a 6v4, and they can shut it out just inches away from the end.
It's very close to the end, but last point Dorado is a difficult point to full cap. It is one that becomes, especially for the attacker side, very difficult to just keep it going. There's a lot of value that the defensive side can get from good corners, good positioning, and indeed just getting back to the card relatively quickly. And you saw there as well towards the end, even though the Transcendence was up, Fate's just going for a big charge to get Lynx added away, way away from the Transcendence, and just pick him off there, at which point it's just cleanup time. It's straight up cleanup time. It's free real estate.
No, it's going to be interesting to see what the offense decides on this push, because I just don't see them. Are they going to continue this Zen Rhine Goat mirror? Because it's seeming to be very, very favorable for Evasive here. I mean, don't get me wrong, TBD, they're making some play, but consistently it does feel like Evasive is getting more value out of the Reinhardt, getting more value out of
The Diva.
the Diva. Yeah, I was gonna like it feels like they are just playing a slightly better Zen Reinhardt here. So I would be hopeful that TBD would decide to change it up, try something different.
Yeah, it's looking a bit difficult, but it can indeed be just a way to feel a bit more comfortable to stay with the goats that you've been practicing, but Evasive is indeed looking very strong on the goats meta. Fate's just finding all of the value, Edge finding all of the value. It's looking pretty nuts at the moment for Evasive. But it's just a second round on Dorado. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, second round. Let's see them get into it. A huge fire strike from Fades. Manages to demake Lucky Pants, and they should just be able to push in here. Spooker going to dive very, very deep. Going to look for a boot, but going to get stunned out by Lunafan. Lunafan ready for it. Seeing Spooker coming in, sees the free kill opportunity. They're actually going to push up. They get the kill onto Fletcher. Out comes the Shatter. He does manage to knock them down, but it's too late. Lynx, I mean, it's a good Shatter, but just, there's no one there to back him up.
Oh, and that Lucky Pan's getting staggered just a fair bit. Not too much, because you cannot risk her getting all the payload and stalling it out for just a moment. But indeed, Lynx, after 3 picks, then using the Shatter, it is questionable to say the least. To at that point try to still get value for it. While the charge of the Shatter was very quick, Lynx drops very low immediately.
Out come both rallies and both sound barriers and a Transcendence. It's all popping. Someone needs to find a kill here. Out comes the Shadow from Fate. Will he be the first to find it? No, it's going to be Lunafan who gets the kill onto Fletcher. That's absolutely huge. Lynx does charge Murren, but somehow doesn't get the kill on him. I think it stopped just before he hit the wall there. Murren going to just edge away with his life, and in fact going to kill Lynx for his trouble.
Now another cleanup by Evasive, looking very strong on all of these fans. Bloater now trying to run back to safety. Mob trying to take on this fight, but is gonna get booed back here. And Evasive looking very strong on all of these fights, finding very early value, and already knowing that TBD sometimes just kinda throws in ultimates a bit. Not always. They're using them very effectively, but sometimes they just kinda lobbing them away.
Speaking of the lob, they lob up the Diva Bomb. Should be able to get one here. In fact, he gets 3! Huge combo. They don't even... No, Lynx doesn't even manage to get the trade out. Oh! What was that?
Edge! Insane Diva Bombs! Please stop, they're already dead. Well, that is halfway, almost at actually the second point on this... on Dorado here, going for one basically last fight here before the cap might occur. Bomb comes in from Lucky Pants.
They do pop the rally, and unfortunately Lucky Pants completely misses the bomb there, so he isn't going to find anything, but luckily enough damage has been done to Fade. Fade knows he has to run away, but Murren trades it out, gets an incredible kill onto Molkrat there, and that actually gives Fade the confidence to just push straight back in. They're one down. You can capitalize on this. In he goes, taking a little bit of damage, and out comes the sound barrier from both teams, keeping everyone alive here. Lunafan actually in a little bit of trouble, as is Lucky Pants. Shatter from Fade does knock down Spooker, but it's not enough to get the kill. Fade's again falling very, very low. He has to be careful here. Out comes the Graviton. They get the kill onto him. Transcendence coming out, but it's not going to be enough as Fade's already dropped down. Up goes the Diva Bomb. Edge, you need to do something magical, and you're not going to. Magic is dead this day.
Yeah, now we are seeing the cleanup. TBD finally stabilizing, but there's 3 minutes left to capture this second point on Dorado. And if we especially look at the ult economy, we've got Graph for Mob, and on the other side, we don't really have anything to deal with that, apart from Lucky Pants eating the Graph. But I don't know whether Lucky Pants is very hungry for Grabs at the moment.
again! Murren snipes Lucio up the top. Out comes the Graviton, not going to be eaten. Edge is the only one who's hungry today. Muck going to get the kill onto Fletcher, and they should just be able to lock this out here. Evasive. Very, very convincing push.
Need 2.5 minutes to take the second point, adding it up to 4 in total. And just seeing very efficient, very effective play. Taking a bit of an aggressive stance to try and get some free card push, especially waiting for this door to open. Right now, you can't really do that much. And we see TBD coming back in.
Coming in hot, I think. They really need to, I assume, pop this rally from Fletcher and just push forwards and hope they can get some kind of opener. Fades, again, playing very, very aggressive here, but a lot of damage has come his way. Out comes the rally from Fletcher. Up goes the D.Va Bomb. He needs to find something here. He isn't going to. Fortunately for him, Lynx has already got the kill onto Lunafan. The question is now, can they drop Fades? And it looks like they can. Lynx really taking an aggressive position here and just swinging away, holding that mouse one.
Yeah, getting these shield heroes in Brick and Ryan out of the way early. That is usually the way that you want to go when you're fighting goats. You are aiming to get the Reinhardt out of the way, go for the Brick next. Though if you get the Brick first, then the Reinhardt after, hey, you got 2 picks. Let's go at that point. But it is this very good target priority, I will say, from TBD. And this last point, as we said before, is very difficult to just really push in on. It is, for defense, just a bit easier to take a good hold here and also fall back to very consistent corners.
Speaking of corners, they're actually being pushed back here. Lynx playing very, very far back, allowing Fades to get around the corner. Shatter comes through. It's huge. They boop Fades back and go for the Shatter. Down goes Mob instantly. Murren down. They understand this is a lost fight. That was really, really effective. They boop the Reinhardt back and then Shatter.
Indeed, you can see as well from Edge, as soon as the Shatter comes in, their first 2 picks just boost out. This is a lost fight. Reset. Go for the next one. With 2 more minutes, that is still enough time to get a value here. The card still made a bit of progress, but it's gonna be slowly moving back. But we are seeing Evasive now coming up to a whole bunch of ultimates. But it's kind of equal at the moment. This fight will probably say a lot about what will happen here. Lots of ultimates coming up. Grab first.
Both support ults being popped, but I don't know if it's going to do too much against the D.Va Bomb. They need to try and kill Lucky Pants here. Lucky Pants pushing very, very far forwards. Out comes the Graviton, but the Shadow comes out as well to cancel it out. Out comes Transcendence. Neither team really finding a kill here. Edge going to pop his ult and should be able to get Fletcher. No, Mob's going to get the kill first. Link should be the next to fall, but he's going to take Lunafan with him, I think. No, Mob's going to get the save at the last second. He's looking to go Evasive's way here. Spooker in a little bit of trouble on the point. Needs to pull back. Just giving them too much space here. 2 looks to fall next. Again, though, has to just run all the way back. Spooker somehow continuing to block this point from going any further. And giving them space to Fletcher switches to the Doomfist pushing forwards. But again, I don't think there's anything they can do here. 2 looks to fall. It's just Lynx left. He's the only one stopping them and runs away. That's it.
Indeed, at this point, it's just staggering in. And it's going to be Evasive also here taking Dorado. Very strong fighting here from Evasive, especially on this Goats composition. Again, keep in mind, this team has been playing together for just a week.
A single week.
Just a week. And the synergy is just so strong. It is
terrifying. Look at this. I mean,
it is absolutely terrifying.
Because they very obviously call that. The Reinhardt calls that he wants to go in. Lovely shot from Mob. Reinhardt very obviously calls he wants to go in. He wants to try and get the clear. And Mob's there with the Graviton. Drops it, gets 3 people, and they just clean up. Really, really clean play.
Really clean play. And you see it very consistently. Just getting the communication in of like, hey, we're gonna go in, we're gonna go aggressive, we got a pick push in, and it's just very clean. And TBD is they're gonna have to find a way to break through that consistency and that synergy to start to get the value back here. There is still a chance, but it's looking rather difficult.
And this is where it gets especially scary for Team TBD. I mean, as we saw, Evasive, a lot of their fights they're winning with kind of big ult combos. They're doing really, really good synergistic plays. And given that we're going into an assault map next, I think it's going to be, it's going to be Hanamura that we're going into. A map where those big ult combos are really how you win your offense. I would be very, very nervous on Team TBD here.
I would agree indeed. Going into an assault map, getting the cleanup on the enemy team with a good ult combo, that is how you get the point, especially first point for attackers. If you get the one good combo off, that is usually first point taken. Second point tends to be a bit of a different story. Defense can usually get in, but do keep in mind, if you keep enough people on the point, the longer it lasts, the more difficult it becomes for defense to get back on point. And with that, indeed, getting the good combos off after a while is just gonna make it very easy for the attackers to get the points here, or for defenders with a big alt combo to just smash the attack down.
Bat it down like whack-a-mole. So it's going to be interesting though, because first point Hanamura is one of those places where you see Mei get played quite a lot, you see Bastion played a lot. I mean, I don't want to throw myself in front of the bus again and say maybe they'll play something different and see the Rhine mirror, but you know, this is somewhere where they can. You know, if you're Team TBD, you've lost the Rhine mirror twice now. This is really kind of your time where this is the map to do it. This is the time to do it where you just pick something different. You kind of throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. Throw in a triple DPS. Throw in a defensive Evasive Bastion. Throw in a Symmetra cheese. Why not? On attack, just teleport onto the point. Try it.
They're doing it. They're doing the Bastion.
Are they doing the Bastion?
They are. They're coming out of spawn.
They are moving out, so we are going to see the Bastion Risa here.
Here comes a new challenger.
It's interesting they're running it with the Farah as well.
I mean, that can be a very good play as long as... Because playing versus Goats, getting no real contest with hit scans directly makes it very difficult to actually contest the Farah. And getting in a good crossfire in with the Farah then possibly on the left side, or going from the high ground, or going behind, and with the Bastion just pelting damage in through the gates, it's going to make it difficult for Goats to really get a foothold.
Absolutely, but I mean, we're going to see what they can do. They've shown some real aptitude with this Goats composition, and let's see if they can make something happen here. I assume Lucio's immediately called it, and actually no, they're just going to straight switch. They understand, you know, this is a difficult matchup for them, so they're just going to switch straight off to a dive composition.
To a dive composition with Genji Doomfist. Question is, will that be enough to deal with Bastion here? Doomfist is indeed gonna be really good to get a lot of burst damage in, but also to boo people around and get them away from this bunker.
You typically see this dive composition played with the Sombra, but they're not going to run it. Fade's just going to jump straight and get mown down by 2. I'm worried about what they're going to be able to do here without an EMP to kill this Immortality Field, because this composition usually runs where you just try and work towards the Nano Blade, but you know, without the EMP, I don't know how effective that's going to be.
Exactly, you have to immediately already put an effort to get the invincibility down. And just not getting that one down quickly to just get the value afterwards is gonna reduce the value of the Nano Blade massively.
Huge anti-nade.
Big anti.
They pop in with the Genji and the Doomfist. They need to try and get the kill though, and I don't think they're going to. Mob gonna get dropped instantaneously. Down goes Fade. Yeah, they're just unable to. They have to spend so long killing the Immortality Field that by the time they're done, because the Immortality Field, it's basically another player if you're hard focusing it. By the time you've killed it, Bastion sprayed you down.
Exactly, and while the anti-nade was very good, the Immortality Field doesn't care. It doesn't actually heal, it just straight up keeps you alive. So you can have the best anti-nades, but if you do not get that invincibility field down, then it's just not gonna provide enough.
Yeah, now comes the anti-nade. They even nano the Winston instead of the Genji here. Be a little bit worried for them, but no! Somehow 2 manages to kill himself with the Bastion ult. It's absolutely huge. Bletcher needs to do a lot here, and he's not going to be able to as Mob drops him from the sky. Spooker does get the res onto 2. It's going to be very, very crucial. He needs to do a lot here, and he is going to start doing it. Gets 1, looking for a second on the Ludafan. He might be able to get it. No, Ludafan's going to trade it out. Huge play there. Fades now against the Mercy. Needs to try and kill him, because Mercy somehow manages to kill the Genji there, and actually going to push forwards. Gonna keep Lucky Pants alive. This has turned suddenly to actually not be too much in Fade's favor here. He needs to try and find the Mercy, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to.
No, but this first point of Hanamura being more attacker's favored, as soon as you can get in, the pushing in back with the defense is gonna take a while. The walk back is pretty sizable. They are still trying, however.
Should just be a matter of time, though, yeah. Should just be a matter of time before they get the clear up here. 2 just gets smacked down by Edge.
2 of the Tracer just trying to stagger for as long as possible, but this looks like it's going to be a point A grab by TBD. but they already burned down a fair amount of time, which leaves 5 minutes to grab point B, which, as we said before, is a bit more defense favored. This is where you are going to need the good combos, as we said before, which they've used on the first point. So will be the question how they will be dealing with this Winston goats that Evasive has switched to now. Seeing the switch as well, they are going to switch to Winston goats themselves, so we are going to see another mirror match, this time without a Reinhardt. We'll see how they will fare on the Winstons.
Yeah, Fade's just going straight in very, very deep, cordoning off Lynx. I do like that play. Out comes Transcendence from Mob, but isn't actually going to do nearly enough here to keep his team alive. The problem is that his team immediately split up. Fade is going to ult on Winston and going to look to try and get the kill onto either Molkrat or Spooker, and I don't think he's going to find it. Lynx does get dropped by Mob, and Fade does find the kill onto Molkrat. That's the opening they needed. Now it's just a case of Fade on point, swinging around, trying to do as much damage as humanly possible with his Tesla cannon. Down goes Fletcher. Fade needs to look for a second one here, and he is going to find it onto 2 and Lucky Pants. This should be a pretty concise offense here for Evasive. It's just Molkrat left. He should get dropped instantly, not even going to be able to contest the point for a second.
And indeed, the switch to Doomfist to try and stagger for as long as possible. 1 sec already taken, 53% down. This is indeed the point where it starts staggering, and where the defensive respawn is going to start taking longer and longer.
Lynx, though, actually, with the ultimate, should be able to hold for a little bit there, but no, the excellent use of the Graviton there. They don't hold it to try and get some insane clear. They understand they just need to kill that Winston as fast as humanly possible. Transcendence does come out from Molkrat, and in fact, they haven't actually got to a second tick yet.
They have not TBD, being very successful at just staggering in on point and just burning down time.
And they even make the May switch along with the Wrecking Ball. May gonna get dropped, as is Wrecking Ball, and I think this could finally be it, but they've honestly burnt like a minute, 2 minutes here, just staggering out time.
Exactly, that was, well, indeed a very successful offensive. The staggering in was very good, and by the end you can see like the razor spawns just not really coming in anymore because of the way that has been built into the game. Now with indeed 2 minutes 55 left for Evasive, and they're going to show their own defense right now, and I'm wondering, will we also see the Orisa defense right here?
See, I mean, because the interesting thing though is that if you're Evasive, I don't think you really feel the need to run anything different, because TBD, obviously, as I said, they've lost this mirror match twice now, so they really are in a position where they're forced to play something different. Whereas Evasive, they've been very, very impressive on that Ryan Zen Goat, so I don't see a need for them to change what they're doing. Yeah, I assume they're just going to continually run it. Yeah, it's worked for them so far. Why? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, it does look like a TBD. However, at the moment, maybe running a Sombra as opposed to the Zarya, which is a bit less likely. Usually the Diva who will then be switching to the Sombra, but anything can happen. But indeed, on a defense, we will just see this Ryan Zen Goats, which, as you pointed out, indeed, Evasive is just looking so strong on. Fade's maybe going for a cheeky charge or just the standard fire strike. I'm hoping he goes into the...
Go for the cheeky charge, Fade. Go on.
You know,
we all want to see it. Ah,
he's gotta go back.
That's upsetting. But no, it's going to be interesting to see if Sombra can get the all-important hack on the Reinhardt or the all-important hack on the Zenyatta. Those are the two that he's really going to be looking for. But Murren drops Molkrat.
Just deletes him from the game immediately, and Evasive just pushing TBD literally back into the spawn. You want to get in the point, first try to get out of your spawn. But we did see the switch off of the Sombra indeed for just the standard Zarya. And now indeed with just the first picks, it's insane.
And forward they come, but Link's actually in a lot of trouble here. Should get dropped down. He is going to get killed up by Mob. Fade's actually taking a little bit more damage than he's looking to. He's looking for a shadow here. He wants it. He's trying to line it up, but it turns out he doesn't need to. He's just going to clear them anyway.
Yeah, it can feel nice to use the shadow to clear up 3 more people, but on the other hand, we've seen Fades. No, they're still not gonna do it. Still not gonna do it. Fades being wanting to be cheeky, not allowed.
Restraint is important in a Reinhardt. Obviously, you
It
want your
is.
Reinhardt to be charging forwards, doing the kills, but you also want him to understand when he needs to play a little bit safer. Out comes the Shadow, though! That's 5 in it. Should be the instant wipe. Fletcher, Lucky Pants, all falling to the hammer of Fades.
And again, is reaffirming, you want to try to get out of spawn? Well, good luck. We've got a lot ready for you, and try and deal with it. Now, they've only used Shatter. They still have 5 ultimates up at this point. While on the other side, we basically just see 3. 2 supportive and the grab. Gravity comes in.
I was gonna say, out comes the grab along with the Transcendence though, and the counter grab from 2 is huge. Out comes the Diva Bomb, they need to get a kill off of it, they're not going to. And in fact, Lynx actually is now in the pole position here, he's gonna pick up the kill on the Fades. Transcendence comes out from Murren, but it's way too late. He's already lost his Reinhardt, and as soon as Reinhardt goes down, it just gives Lynx so much space to push forwards and take the point for free basically. Down goes Lunafan. It is just about cleanup duty here. They are gonna get the second point with about 5.5 minutes.
Indeed, about 5.5 minutes. Evasive, recognizing indeed point is lost, don't try to stagger in, just pull back and take the defense on point B, which can become a lot more difficult here for TBD. We will see, however, TBD going for the high road. Common way to go, as the main road leaves you very open for a lot of damage. Fates, however, has the shadows, probably going to be looking for it soon.
Huge Diva Bomb here, forces them back and in fact gets the double onto Fates and Lunafan. Incredible play here from Lucky Pants. Edge might be able to get the kill onto Molcrat, but I don't think it's coming his way.
It is not one tick already down. Is Evasive going to be able to actually get back to the point? Edge
Edge is
barely
on.
getting back to the point.
Now it's a question of how good their stall is. Molcrat gonna pop his Transcendence a little bit early, I think. But like we said, it's just about trying to stall out for as long as possible. Mob finally gonna get the Graviton off, but out comes the Sound Barrier. 2 gonna get the kill onto Mob, in fact, and I don't even think they're gonna be able to stall for too long here. Picks already coming their way. That's a very, very fast second point take.
Very fast. TBD looking a lot stronger here than they have been on the previous 2 map, and they might be able to just straight up turn this around.
Actually, I think I think the most important thing is to understand that it wasn't just that they won the round concisely on Zen Reinhardt, on the thing that it was
Exactly.
looking like Evasive was so dominant on. They really got, especially on that second point, they kind of just got battered around.
They did indeed get battered around. I got a bit of a vibe that Evasive might have gotten just a bit cocky. Looking for indeed the cheeky shatter again in the hallway, but not really keeping an eye on the bomb that just very well came in from behind. I just took out the first 2, at which point it becomes so much more difficult to actually get back into point concisely and with all of the team to really stabilize again. It's at that point very difficult to not be in the stagger fight versus this GOAT's composition, which is just all about sustainability and just staying together and staying alive. You have to get the picks in, which becomes so difficult when you only have 4 people left. On the defense now, however, for TBD, we are seeing the Bastion once again with Ryan Goats for Evasive.
And again, Evasive just gonna pull all the way back, decide, you know, this isn't a fight we're winning. It's gonna pull back, change the composition. And I think what's slightly worrying for them here is actually the time bank. Only 2.5 minutes. They won't have a huge amount of time to set up those big combos. So I would be a little bit worried if I'm Evasive here.
I would be very worried, especially seeing how it went the first time. A good hold and putting a lot of damage in on Fade. But jumping this Bastion is so difficult, and they're trying it again with the Genji Doomfist, and as we've seen before, like, it is possible, but it is so difficult. Mob dropping very low.
Out comes the anti-nade. It's important, they need to get rid of this Immortality Field, and they just can't do it fast enough. By the time they killed Immortality Field, 2's just back to full health. He does finally get dropped down by Murp of all people, actually. Zenyatta's, again, just doing huge work, and somehow Murp gets a second kill onto Murp and a third onto Bleacher. Murp with 3 kills there. What was that?
That was Mob channeling his inner Jodak and just straight up going for it. Getting a very clean initial fight off here for the first attack with 2 minutes left. looking a lot stronger than last time, going for the quick switch off of this dive composition back to Rhine Goat. And on defense, we're seeing the Winston Goat. So this will play out just a bit differently from last time. Evasive just being a lot more comfortable on the Rhine Goats.
And in comes the charge from Fade. He needs to try and get the kill. And in fact, they do. Murren manages to get the finish onto Lynx there. They really do need to take this as fast as humanly possible here. It's not just about getting there, it's about getting there quickly. And the problem is with Murren getting dropped down by Lucky Pants, I don't think it's going to come. Bringing also in a lot of trouble. And Lucky Pants going to get the finish onto them as well. Fade's falling very, very low. Fade looks to fall as well. They did manage to get a tick under their belt, but only just. It looks like they're going to be shut out here.
Yeah, and Malkrut, especially with the anti-nade. You have the sustainability here.
Edge.
Oh, Edge. So painful to see. Not being allowed to actually get off and gonna be taken up by Lings, also getting just a bit of extra ult charge. Just a tiny bit, and with 60 seconds, we're going to get just maybe 1 or 2 more fights, depending on how fast they can get together. 1 tick, however, already taken, so that's not the worst. And we do have some ultimates coming up, especially Fates with the Shatter. And with no real big defensive ultis on TBD's side.
So I think they're going to use the Nano Winston as their defensive ulti here. Just pushes in and tries to make as much space as possible, and it's actually going to work out for them. They do manage to get them up. Lunafan also in a lot of trouble here. He's going to get dropped down along with Fades. That looks like another very, very solid defense from TBD.
Exactly. Edge has to right now reset very quickly with 10 seconds, 15 seconds left. It's going to be really difficult to get back to the point. It's going to be either stagger breaks or straight up giving up the point at this time.
Can Fades even make it there? I don't think he can.
Anyone?
No.
Mup.
Oh, Mup! Oh, we should have believed. And they even come with the
sound barrier.
The Shadow's huge, along with the sound barrier to keep everyone alive here. Incredible play from Mup, but no, it's not going to be enough. There just aren't enough people on the point. Edge needs to do something incredible here, and he isn't going to do it. 2 should be able to get the kill onto Fades here, just on point, spraying away. Mob trying to kill him, but 2 understands his position of dominance here. Almost incredible.
Almost incredible. A very valiant effort. Just at the last half second, that Mob manages to get on the point, and with barely 10 health left, managing to also pop the sound barrier. It was a very good effort. Unfortunately, just not enough. So we will be now going into the swap again with Evasive going for the defense. And the question is indeed, they looked very strong at the start, but with one mistake, it quickly turned around for the full map. Well, they have learned from this already, and will they be able to keep more control over it? That is the question that
I was going to say, yeah, that's the question, because what's important is, I don't think we can understate how important that tick was.
That one tick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Second point of Hanamura, being able to get that tick, understanding that it means, even if we lose first point, it's not over. We can still win this game. That's really, really important, not just for how you play the game, but also just mentally. It's very, very important to have that kind of backup.
Exactly. Just being aware, hey, we got a tick. It's okay. We've got a chance. We can defend for. We need to defend for a bit longer than TBD did, but hey, we've looked very, very potent the first time. We can do this. Just get yourself pumped up, and we will see how Evasive will defend this and how TBD will take these fights.
Speaking of taking fights, they're going to push up here. Spooker, I assume, is going to go over the top and just try and maybe find a boop onto Fadeable people, but Lynx, again, taking a little bit too much damage here. The Reinhardt's trying to push forwards, but just the amount of damage coming through is huge. That's a massive stun from Fletcher. That should be everything they need here. Fade's in a lot of trouble, but Mob gets the huge kill onto Lynx. Fades looked like he was going to be in a lot of trouble there, and look at that. As soon as they get the kill onto Lynx, they can get Molkrat, they can get Fletcher. That's absolutely massive. Huge turnaround kill from Mob.
Indeed, and that was, very well played from Evasive. TBD there, actually going very aggressive, very kind of out of position there with the stun, and with the Reinhardt going very far into the enemy team, and then getting punished for it immediately. That is a good turnaround from Evasive, going now into the next fight.
Going into this next fight, they appear to be going in very, very strong here, actually. Lynx and 2 both pushing a little bit too far forwards. They were ready for the Shadow. Fade tries to get cheeky with it. In fact, they have to pop Transcendence because they know as soon as the Shadow comes out, but he blocks Lynx's as well. Both Shadows being used, both Transcendences. Graviton coming out, and I don't know if they're actually going to be able to get a kill off of it. But a second Shadow! What? Fades! Gets a second Shadow off, kills Lynx with it, gets 2 as well. 2 Shadows for him in 1 fight. I mean, that's the power of Reinhardt, really.
Yeah, using the graph to charge your Shatter, and especially like using it that so fast, it catches the enemy Reinhardt just off guard for the block. You don't expect that often for the enemy Reinhardt to get 2 Shatters that quickly in a row, so being ready for it is just mentally very difficult.
So, I mean, so speaking of mentality here, the issue is that if you're TBD, it feels like you're just smashing your head into a wall here. In they go, Edge, nom nom nom. He's a hungry boy and gets the eat onto 2. Both sound barriers being popped. Out comes the Diva roll. See if they can get a kill here with it. No, Fade's ready for it. But this huge charge from Lynx. Absolutely massive play. Out comes the Transcendence. And Edge gets 2 with the explosion. Huge play from him. They clean up off it again. The brick wall is not looking like it's going to break anytime soon.
Not at the moment, and to not take away from Edge's bombs, which have been very consistently very valuable. Fade's charging Lynx added away for no shield for anyone to stay behind. That is also just, even if landed at an awkward position.
Oh, speaking of awkward positions, Lynx goes for a beautiful Shadow, but there's no one in his line of sight. Doesn't get anyone with it. Meanwhile, Fades gets 5. Out comes both rallies. Lynx actually does manage to pick up Fades. It's all going to be down on if Lunafang can get a kill here, because he is now the new Reinhardt. Rallied Brigida is basically Reinhardt at this point. And the problem is that by pulling back, they're giving time for the regroup on the side of TBD here, and TBD are just going to run straight in. They know Reinhardt isn't here. They know this is pretty much a free take from them. Murph is in a little bit of danger. But yeah, they're just giving the whole thing up until they can get Reinhardt here. They're playing a very, very dangerous game, and see if it's going to work out for them. Out comes the Graviton, along with the Transcendence to keep everyone alive. It's all going to be about who can get this first pick here. The Shadow comes through, and that should be the first pick for them. Down goes Spooker. But no, a counter Shadow comes out from Lynx. Huge play. Soundbarrier should keep everyone alive, but it should have still done enough, because it will have, yeah, distracted enough that the Diva Bomb should be able to get a kill here. 3 kills go the way of TBD, and they should finally be able to capture this point after a pretty solid hold from Evasive.
Very solid hold, seeing as it was almost 5 minutes that they had to hold here for both points, managing to take it down to currently 44 seconds, and I believe 30 seconds will get added for 1 minute and 10 seconds now to take this point B, which means it's basically going to be 2 proper fights max before it's the end of the map.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean these are goats fights as well. So, I mean, honestly, this could be decided on this next fight.
It can be. Goats fights either going very quickly or being very drawn out. Up behind. Grab comes in early.
Along with the Transcendence, keeping everyone alive here. Counter grab and a Shadow to go with it. Transcendence should keep everyone alive. Malkrat knows that he's in a lot of danger here. Fades actually in a little bit of danger of his own. He needs to be kept alive here, and they are in fact going to get him as he somehow gets a pickup with the Fire Strike there. They look like they're going to chase, just try and stagger people out as long as humanly possible here. Then Yada going to have to jump off the edge. Oh no. 19 seconds left. Full regroup.
Exactly, a Lucky Hands out of a mech. Is going to, can't reset, there's not enough time, but getting this mech back is going to be vital. Will they be able to get on point in time? Spooker manages to get on point, so they will take a fight here. Sam Barrett comes in.
Out comes the Shadow as well, but nothing going to come of it. I love this Diva roll. Should be able to get 1, and he's going to pick up Bletch. Bletch is the only kill they really need here. Now they just push in on Lynx. Lynx taking so much damage. They even pop the sound barrier just to confirm it. Down goes Spooker. Down goes 2. Diva Bomb goes up, but nothing going to come of it, and that should be it.
Everything else overtime ticking down, and Evasive University taking Hanamura just the same.
It's a 3-0 series for Evasive there, but I mean, obviously the overall scoreboard makes it look like it was all Evasive's game. But honestly, TBD looked like they had a very strong chance of winning this game. It was just a couple of, as we always say with Goats games, it's just a couple of small decisions made by the winning side that win it. It's little plays like Fade's understanding Lynx is going to come in for that shatter, so he just moves to the side. It's tiny, tiny little micro decisions like that that really decide GOAT's games.
It's micro plays, it's micro decisions, it's communication, it's between everyone, and indeed we saw both teams playing very strong games. Just Evasive managed to win out at the end, but indeed here on Hanamura, TBD, it looked like they had a chance to take it back. Unfortunately, they didn't manage, but they put up a very strong fight.
They absolutely did. They could be incredibly pleased with themselves. We will be going to a short break, but we'll be back in about 2 minutes. See you then.